Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. I want to ask you just about the adversity. You've talked about it many times this season and what this team has gone through and just trying to prove consistency. How does this game speak to what they've been able to do throughout the season? And how proud are you of the fact that they were able to get it done really up front, as you just heard from your players with physicality?
Well, I think that this game probably is a little bit of, what this season has been all about. We've had some really good players that are missing, created opportunities for other players who have stepped up and showed that they have the confidence and a competitive character to go out there and do their job in a first-class way. The players believe in each other. I think all those things were very evident in this game tonight. And I think those are things that have been a part of what this team is made of, that has given them the opportunity to, now have a chance to play in a national championship. So very proud of what they've done. We had a young team to start with, especially on offense, and those guys have done a great job. Bryce has done a great job. We were able to run the ball when we had to run it tonight, to be physical, and we stopped them in the running game pretty well, which was a real key in this game because they do run it well. And Jerome Ford is one of the better running backs that we played against, and I thought the players did a really good job. I was concerned about how we would tackle in the game, having all this time off, but I was really pleased with the way the defensive players tackled in the game.
Next question will come from Charlie Potter of Bama Online. Go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah, hey, Coach. We saw Emil Ekiyor leave the game late in the first quarter. Do you have an update on him?
He's got a shoulder injury. We think that, he's got a chance to be able to come back and play in the game, but it's probably too early to know. It depends on how he responds. Our medical staff will do a great job with all the players that were injured in the game, and hopefully we'll be able to get most of them ready to play.
Okay, we'll go to Nick Kelly at Tuscaloosa News. Go ahead, Nick.
Nick, you talk about resiliency, and Brian Robinson might be one of the best that embodies that. What impressed you most during his multi-year wait to be able to be the guy at running back?
Well, I think anytime a guy spends as much time behind as many good players as B-Rob did, never complains, always works hard, and was willing to have the patience to wait his turn. And he worked hard. Whatever his role was on the team, he was willing to do it. He's improved dramatically. He's a great person and a leader on the team right now. And I'm proud of him in terms of what kind of football player he's become, but I'm also proud of what kind of person he's become. And, I think he embodies what we really try to get our players to do, create value for themselves by what they invest in and what they do. And it took him a long time to do that, but he kept working at it. There's so many players now that are willing to cut and run as soon as things don't happen, and they get immediate self-gratification from whatever their circumstance is. And he certainly showed a tremendous amount of resiliency to stick with it, stay in a program, keep working. But there's probably not a whole lot of successful people in this world that don't have a lot of resiliency, because you have to be able to overcome adversity, and he's done that and become a very fine person and a really good player.
Next question will come from Zachary Brazilier from the New York Post. Go ahead, Zachary.
Nick, did this feel almost like a throwback game, early in your time in Alabama, where you guys would run over people, where your defense, you would rely on your defense? Did it feel like kind of maybe the kind of win you guys might have, when you first got to Alabama?
Right. Well, we've had a couple games like that this year, but, sometimes you got to take what the defense gives. And, a lot of these running plays that we had RPOs and passes attached to them. But by the way they line up on defense, it's a give read. So you don't end up throwing the ball, and they play a lot of man-to-man. So, sometimes they took the RPOs away. So I thought Bryce did a really good job of making good decisions and taking advantage runs when we had them, and a couple advantage throws when we had them. So that's just part of it. But we know that we have to have great balance on offense. When we're the best, we can run it, but we can make plays in the passing game. And, we're missing a few players in some of those spots. So this will give us another opportunity to get some of these other guys the confidence they need to continue to be able to make a contribution.
Next, we'll go to Michael Casagrande of AL.com. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, obviously any win is what you want, but the way you were able to physically manhandle them seems up front. Was that any more gratifying to see the way you guys were able to control that line?
No, well, I mean, I think you always want to control the line of scrimmage. I think it's always important in any game. And we were able to do that on both sides of the ball. And I think that was a big part of having success in this game. Now, we probably didn't make as many explosive plays because of that, but it shrinks the game. You don't have to play as many plays on defense. We did a good job on 3rd down and 4th down on defense and got off the field. So the combination of those things with a couple red area stops and being able to control the line of scrimmage up front were probably the key to being successful in this game.
We'll go next to Chris Hummer. Chris, go ahead.
Near the end of the first half, Kool-Aid recovered a fumble, Jacory scored a touchdown, and Dallas had a sack on 3rd down. How important was that sequence, and how have you seen those true freshmen handle the roles they've been lifted into?
Well, those guys played really well for us, and Kool-Aid played well tonight. Dallas has played well ever since Drew Sanders hurt his hand. So I'm really pleased with the way those guys have developed, but it means something to those guys. Those guys are very committed to trying to be good players, trying to learn, trying to grow, watching other players and how they do things and how they need to work in practice to prepare for a game. And I think that's why they've made, the improvement and the progress that they've made. And now that they've played some, I think they have some confidence as well. And I think that's, invaluable, especially at this point in the season.
Next, we'll go to Aaron Suttles. Aaron, go ahead.
With Brian Robinson, he has a running style where he doesn't shy away from contact. And it almost seems to get better after he's run over a couple of guys. In terms of the toughness of the team, how contagious can that be, being physical and out physically in a team?
Yeah, well, I think that's always a goal for us, is to play, with more effort, more intensity, be more physical, play with more toughness than the other team. B-Rob certainly exemplifies that in his style of play. And I think it fires up a lot of people around him when they see, a player be able to do that. And he made some tough runs tonight. He got lots of yards after first contact.
Our next question will come from Dan Wolken, USA Today. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, Nick, all season it seemed like your public comments about this team were very positive and forward-looking, even after like the A&M loss or some close games, or maybe there was some negativity with the fan base. Why did this particular team need that from you?
Well, I think we're a relatively young team. We've got a lot of young players that are out there playing. I think when you have success, the previous season, which, the guys that did come back, were very successful. It really took a long time for us to sort of develop the chemistry, on this team from a leadership standpoint, because we had some great leaders on last year's team. So even though guys have leadership qualities, they don't really see that as their role because it didn't have to be their role in the past. But we've had some guys really step up for us and do a really good job. And I think, I don't want to call it nurturing, but I felt like, we needed to do that with this team, that, just getting on these guys all the time was not going to help their confidence. It was not going to help the young players develop. And, then we started to develop some of these internal intangible things that really helped us grow as a team.
Next question comes from Dan Toratora. Go ahead, Dan.
Coach, having a lot of experience here in the college football playoff, just what you can say about Luke Fickell and what he's done with this Cincinnati team, and just what, that on the other sideline, what you've taken away from him and his work.
Well, I think Luke has done a fantastic job, and really anybody that looks and watches their team play, even playing us tonight, their team plays with a lot of toughness. They play hard. They're very well coached. They play together as a group. They're sound and solid in what they do in every phase of the game. And, he took a program, I think, and that won 4 games or whatever, and, got in a college football playoff. And there's no doubt in my mind that they belong in the playoff. I think the way they gave us all we could handle, in this game tonight. If we don't stop them on 4th down a couple of times and stop it in the red zone, this game could have been a lot closer. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for what he's done and their program and their players in terms of the way they bought in. And they had a lot of players come back, and want to create value for themselves. And I think that probably contributed to the success. And they have a lot of good leadership on their team. That's very evident when you watch them play together.
The next question comes from Christopher Heidel. Go ahead, Christopher.
Good evening, Coach Saban. Chris Heidel from Hermiston Radio in Baltimore. Talk about your defense. You guys did a fantastic job controlling that high-power offense at Cincinnati. Are you guys peaking at the right time, or you think at your the next game might be the pinnacle of the season?
Well, I think that every team that you play offers different challenges, and whether it's matchups, whether it's the style of offense that they play. I think we had a good plan. I think the players did a good job of executing the plan. They played well together. And we didn't give these guys a lot of explosive plays. That's one of the things that they've been sort of known for offensively all year long is, they run, and then they make a big play in the passing game. And we were able to limit that. And I think that was the key to the drill. And it took some patience, but I thought Pete did a really good job of being patient. We wanted to make them drive it through. And, twice I think they got the ball in the red zone and didn't make a touchdown, didn't score a touchdown. So, red zone and third down is big on getting off the field. And I think we had 3 fourth down stops to go with that. So, the defense did a good job. The defensive staff did a good job. And the players did a great job of executing the plan.
Okay, we'll next go to Robert with Insync Magazine. Go ahead, Robert. You there, Robert? Unmute and ask your question. All right, we'll go ahead and go to Haley Sutton. Haley.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You've talked all season about the resiliency of this team, and that was the epitome of that really showing today with a lot of young guys and new faces stepping in. Just how happy were you with the effort from some of those younger guys today?
Well, I was elated with the way a lot of these guys played. We have confidence in the players when they get an opportunity. And I think every time that they get opportunities, they learn more and more, not only about what they need to do, but how they need to prepare so that they can go in the game and play with confidence, not make mental errors, do their job well. I think those things are really, really important. And when young players get an opportunity to play, they learn and grow from their mistakes. And these guys will continue to get better. But I think because they go about it the right way, they've made a tremendous amount of improvement. And I was really pleased with, Ja'Cory Brooks has played well for us. He has to step up now, that John Mechie's out. And we have a lot of other young players that have done a really, really good job for us. So I'm proud of each and every one of them, but I also have confidence in them as well.
Coach, our final question will come from Mike Rodak. Go ahead, Mike.
Just specific to the defense, what might have led to some of those batted passes at the line of scrimmage at the work?
I don't know which question I'm supposed to answer, but I will answer the one that I heard. We really work hard on what we call matching the hand, and we got a couple good guys that have a knack for that. You push the pocket in the middle, and you kind of study the quarterback and his mannerisms in the pocket. And then, when his hand comes through, you want to match the hand with whatever hand you can get up. And I think that was, we made some big plays doing that tonight. Some of these, I call them street plays, zone option, flat plays. If you have pressure on the edge, it's tough for the quarterback sometimes to get the ball over top of the guy. And we had a couple of those as well. But we've got some guys that do a good job of pushing the pocket. Pass rush has been a thing that has helped us a lot on third down. We were able to pressure the quarterback, even at times when we don't get sacks. We're forcing the quarterback to throw the ball before he really wants to. And I think that's really important. to being successful in pass defense.
Medical Properties Trust, at the very heart of healthcare.